Welcome to Resource Radio. Thanks for joining us today. As always, sitting next to me is Ryan Parker. Ryan, how you doing today?
Good. Yourself, Darren?
I am doing well. Thanks for joining us for our first show. This is the hardest-hitting radio show in business, and I hope that you find us entertaining every week and you come back for more antics from us and Ryan's great business advice. I am going to introduce Ryan Parker. He is the creative director over at Xpleo Media. How you doing, Ryan?
Good. And yourself, Darren?
I'm doing great today. What kind of stuff you got on your board for us today?
Well, I think first off, let's start out with some introductions so that the audience out there gets to know who we are. Let's do a little skinny on you first, Darren. Let's kind of get a little background on you and what your thoughts are on what we're going to be doing with the radio show.
Well, we're going to have people joining in with us every week. We're going to have special guests, and hopefully we're going to be tying in their business to some kind of stupid stunt that you guys are going to put me up to doing and make it all fun and yet have a business lesson over the top of it. Maybe we'll give you some business advice from the experts that come in and visit us.
Yeah. Well, tell me a little about yourself.
Well, I have been in the business pretty much my whole life. I came from a baseball background, and originally, a long time ago, I did radiology as well, so I have a technology background. And then I found myself at Xpleo, and that's where I like to be.
Okay, well, give us a little personal about yourself. Come on, Darren, take a little deep there, buddy. Break open that eHarmony profile. I want to hear a little bit.
Is a matchmaker here this week?
I'm a Pisces. I like long walks on the beach.
I do. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Adam Bird. He is our sound director for Xpleo Media Radio down here, and he's helping us keep everything online.
So yeah, give us a little bit of personal background, Darren.
Okay, I'm divorced. I have 2 adult children and 2 great grandchildren. I have a daughter, Demetria, and my son, Dominic. I don't know how deep we want to go.
Hobbies. Give us some background. We need people to understand who we are when we're talking.
Yeah, well, I have a big background with people. I like to deal with people and help them with their problems. I have kind of a giving personality, so I like to be able to assist people in, doing what it is they like to do and keep their businesses strong and hopefully lead them down the right path to make some money.
Good. Well, let me kind of give you a little bit about myself. Got my real estate broker's license when I was 21 years old. 7 years ago, co-founded Xpleo Media with my business partners. My business idol is my father. He has been the largest influence on me in business, and it's just it's been fantastic. My role models in life are both my parents. I've been blessed to have just 2 fantastic parents, the best parents anybody could ever ask for. I have a super supportive wife. She basically is behind me 120% and makes sure she gives me a kick in the butt every morning getting up, make sure I go out there and do the best I can. And I have an awesome 3-year-old daughter that in the last 3 years I've learned more about life from her than anybody or any situation ever. So I've been very blessed. Darren, I'm blessed to work with you and all the guys at Xpleo. We have just fantastic clients. It's been the thing that motivates me and keeps me going through all of my business life. I have to give a shout out to my support group in business, the BNI Scottsdale Energy Chapter. They are my biggest sounding board for things like this radio show. They really help keep me on track with the business that we go out and do. And I have to give a big shout out to Xpleo Media for giving us this fantastic opportunity to have this radio show and be able to get some fantastic messages out to small businesses and those folks that are looking at starting small businesses. So this is going to be a platform for us to be able to help those out there that are looking at expanding their business and starting a business.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit, too, about BNI? I know that our business model also falls in line with the BNI model of networking, and some people may not have heard of BNI before to know what they can do for their own business.
Yeah, BNI is Business Networking International, and it is a fantastic organization. There's chapters all around the world. Both you and I have been blessed to have 2 fantastic chapters here in the Scottsdale area, and they really
shout out BNI team. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, they really are truly a platform for growing your business through personal interaction. Cold calling, all that kind of stuff can go out the door because when you get into a BNI chapter, you literally are finding 20 to 30 to 40 of the best salespeople you could ever have that you never have to pay for. And it's just an awesome platform. So, Darren, why don't you kind of, tell us why you think we deserve a radio show. Give us a little thoughts on what you think we're going to be able to do here to help people out.
Well, it's a crazy idea, and I think anybody that has kind of an extroverted personality can feel for this radio spot here. I guess you don't have to be. You could do like the Saturday Night Live thing, and oh yeah, that was really good. You know, the HPR or whatever they call that radio. I think it's a great opportunity to get the word out. I think it's a great opportunity for the businesses that we're going to have on as guests to be able to get the word out, especially the starting and coming up businesses where they can come and get the word out. And hopefully, this is our first show, and we probably have crickets out there listening to us at this point, but hopefully down the road, within a few weeks, the word will get out, and we'll get a little more radio time with everybody else and get more listeners, and hopefully they'll pass on this link to their friends and find a little bit of this entertaining. It won't be this boring business stuff. There will be some fun on the outside event. In fact, Ryan and I were trying to figure out a way to make exciting today and what we could hit it off, and I think I'll let Ryan kind of introduce what our little skit is today.
Yeah, and I had someone ask me the other day, they're like, all right, so realistically, you're going to do a radio show on business? Like, how entertaining can that be? Like really?
Exactly.
And I looked at him and not knocking anybody that works for somebody, but they were an employee, and I said, look, the thing is that when you're a small business owner, business is everything. You live it, you breathe it, you eat it. It becomes your entire life, and I really think for
entrepreneurs,
it should. Yeah, and I think for entrepreneurs and sole proprietors, I think the biggest thing is that this is their human endeavor. This is what is their motivation. Success to them is everything. And for us to be able to go out on a radio show and be able to discuss with other business owners how other businesses are being successful, I think it will open the eyes to entrepreneurs and those people looking to start a business to really think about, what am I doing? How can I level the playing field? So
what do I need to have in place to make it successful? At least from a startup.
How do I go against the big boys? How do I fight against these companies that have millions of marketing dollars and I'm just a small mom and pop?
Right.
And that's what we're going to talk about today. I mean, we're actually going to be talking about Nathan's famous Frankfurters. We're going to be talking about hot dogs, baby. So today,
a little post 4th of July celebration.
Yeah, a little post 4th of July, and we're filming this. I've got Paul actually filming this, and we'll end up putting up on the Vets on Media website as well as on Xpleo's website. So kind of in retrospect for the 4th of July, Nathan's hosts these hot dog eating contests. So Darren,
right.
I'm putting you up to the challenge.
Yeah, I know.
You, my friend, are going to scarf down 20 hot dogs live on radio and on film for the next basically 45 minutes while we're doing this show.
I got about 10 minutes before we start, so this is like my final will and testament at this point.
Oh, really? Do you have any? Do you have anything you want to put out on the radio so everybody kind of knows where you want to leave your last things? I'll take your forward.
I don't know if I'm really looking forward to this early in the morning.
But yeah,
I got up at 5 o'clock to get ready for it and pretend like it's actually lunchtime, and it's really not.
I will say this: if you're gonna yak, it better be in that direction.
You're not coming.
Adam is to my left. He's a little concerned.
No, it isn't happening. I'm telling you what. If he yaks, I'm gonna have to. There isn't a trash can in here, is there?
Yeah.
We pre-recorded that so we didn't have to actually do it live.
So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to when we go into these next shows that we're going to be doing. We're going to be featuring some fantastic businesses. They're going to have their own story, their own messaging, and our goal is for each show is to bring something unique so that we can do different things.
Right.
The skits are really funny because I like to make things interactive, so it's going to be a really good format.
Do you
want
to tip the hat on any of our upcoming guests?
I'm right now I'm doing some feelers out there. I really like to get John Davis from Scottsdale Music Academy in here and bringing some of his
good guest,
some of his kid bands in here and maybe do some live
acoustic set.
Yeah,
right
some live music.
Yeah.
I have some other guests that I'd like to bring in. Actually, Roland Bennett. He owns Roland Bennett Loans. He's actually going to be having a show coming up in August on the Vets on Media. I like to bring George in from GeoBrow, who's also on the Vets on Media Network,
right,
as well as some of the other contacts that we have. And we have such deep ties in the Valley. There's so many people I would love to bring in. And so we just need to put our thinking cap on.
Well, and that's the advantage of Xpleo. We're, as you know, our business is based upon referrals, and we do a great bit of business off of just people knowing someone that we did work for. And, you might want to expand upon what Xpleo's business model is about the giver's game.
Yeah, since we've been in business for 7 years, and I don't want to make this all about Xpleo, but just so everybody kind of has a background on us, we've worked with everything from small businesses to large businesses. We have a real soft spot for nonprofits. We love working with anybody that's giving back to the community. Our motto at the company is always do things with character. And to do things with character means you're going to do the right thing whether people are watching or not. And that leads into our story of what the Xpleo brand is all about. And that's what our topic today is going to be about as we start talking about Nathan's Hot Dogs, is the story. Because at the end of the day, for any business to be successful, I don't care whether you're selling widgets, I don't care whether you're selling hot dogs, I don't care whether you're selling websites. It's not your product, it's not your service that sells your particular good or service. What it really comes down to is your story. People do business with people that they like and trust.
And can relate to.
Yeah, and can relate to. And so the biggest thing for businesses is to understand that the story is gold. Where most people think that they make their money by spending money on marketing, and there's a lot of companies out there, the big marketing industries would love to have everyone think that you have to go buy print ads, you have to go buy certain things. Yes, they can be important, but at the end of the day, if the business doesn't have a story, there really is nothing for
the consumer to
grasp onto.
Right.
Yeah. And so what ends up happening is you can throw lots of money down a rabbit hole hoping that you're going to get some kind of return, when, believe it or not, the greatest return for your business is sitting in your backyard, which is your story. And that's what we're going to talk about today.
And focusing in on the things that makes your business special, even though you may have 12 other businesses like you. What is it that separates you from the rest of them, and what gives you your niche and what people relate to you about? I mean, I think that's the most important thing with a small business owner, especially somebody starting up. You got to separate yourself from the competition. So if you're doing something similar, you got to find out what it is you're doing that will be different than the person that's also doing it like you, and focus on that group. And sometimes that involves doing a little bit of research ahead of time too.
Yeah. And when you and I were sitting down last week and we were trying to come up with a topic for this first show, we were thinking of all different kinds of topics, and we really wanted to get down to that root value of what makes a business a success story. And part of that, we kicked around so many different business ideas. We kicked around talking about Apple. We kicked around talking about Microsoft. We talked about these big companies. I really like to talk about those companies that came from very humble beginnings, that started up the American dream. And
the Ross Perot's of the business world, who grew up in a mud hut and now is a billionaire, that kind of person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And with Nathan's Hot Dogs, they were founded in 1916 by Polish immigrants that came over. They started in Coney Island. They had one store. It's been open 365 days a year, ongoing until Hurricane Sandy hit. And so it just shows the testament.
It's a Brett Favre hot dog.
Yeah, man. Exactly. And it just shows the testament to, the longevity of a business. You have to figure, Xpleo's been around for 7 years. And a lot of our listeners probably have businesses been around 5, 10, 15 years. Imagine having a business and a brand that's been around for 90 years.
Right, yeah.
I mean, 90 years.
Nobody's even left at the company that started it. So
yeah.
It's just carrying on its
and
own.
not only that, it was handed off numerous times till it reached the grandson. And in the 90s, it ended up going public.
Right.
And he ended up leaving. But imagine having a brand that has been around that long. The only way a brand can last that long is to have a story that everyone can believe in.
Right.
And you think about it. Nathan's famous Frankfurters and those hot dogs, they're sold in over 50,000. I think it's 50,000 locations here in the United States. So you think about a hot dog stand, they're almost in every hot dog stand around the United States.
And ballparks.
Yeah. You had presidents serving them to queens. You had Al Capone. It was one of Al Capone's favorite places to go to. I mean, how cool is that to say you have one of the most notorious gangsters
eating your hot dog?
That's eating your hot dogs and would go out of his way to go and get a Nathan's hot dog. I mean, it's amazing.
He cut back a little bit on that after they got the tax problem thing going.
Yeah, really. And I think what's really cool is that you think about the whole scenario with Nathan's Hot Dogs. They started the contest on the 4th of July. They started these hot dog eating contests.
Right.
And it's kind of legend that actually started in 1916, where a couple of Polish guys actually were sitting around trying to figure out who was the most American. So the whole thing is whoever can eat the most Nathan's hot dogs is the most American person out there.
Are you
out of our
telling me
group.
the rest of the world thinks of America as a bunch of fat, overweight people that don't exercise?
Yeah, really.
Tune in a few weeks for that
Suck it
one.
in, Adam.
Yeah.
Suck it in. Yeah, but that's what it was. And realistically, the actual contest probably started in the 70s, and it probably was a marketing,
Right, of any significance.
Right. It was a marketing avenue, but they created this legend, this story that everybody grasped onto. Nowadays, when you think of Nathan's hot dogs, people
think Kobayashi.
Yeah, you think Kobayashi.
Yeah.
You think someone that can slam down 69 hot dogs in 10
half
minutes.
my size.
So after the break coming up, we're actually going to start talking about how you can start creating a story for your business and how you can use it in your marketing to grow your business. So let's cut the break, and we will be back in just a minute.